Hello, cosmic family. All right, let's see. Oh, we already have someone. Trackman says urgent, but you've delayed the screening. All right, well, it is 7 p.m. here in Prague. If you guys are present right now, let me know where you're joining from and what your time zone is. And we'll get going with our little sound. All right, we're officially beginning. Hi, Pulsar from Texas Chest. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. So today I'm going to channel. Seven wanted me to share a message with you about this month and the energies and how they're shifting. And I will get going with that. And then at the end, I wanted to answer a question that came in about who Seven are and how I connected with them. So if you'd like to watch that, stay tuned for that. For those of you who will be watching, hi Daniel, who will be watching afterwards, I'll probably put timestamps so you can jump directly to the channeled message. All right, everyone. I will see you all in just a few. Humans, as you move through your experience here on planet Earth, you have come to understand that the flow of energy that is present on planet Earth is also present in all of your being. And when you feel really aligned with well-being, when you feel pretty good about what it is that you are thinking, what you are feeling and experiencing, you feel frisky and you feel this energy flowing. But there are days when this energy feels stuck and stagnant, and you don't know which way is right or left. And then to add to that is that planet Earth is a container for energies from all over the universe. And each time that there is a wave of ascension or a wave of descension, there is a movement of energy, either pouring into planet Earth or being seeped out of planet Earth. And this affects not just the planet itself, but all of its inhabitants, including you. And so with each movement of the planets, of the moon and of the sun, and with each wave of energies moving about, you will experience some of these, whether you are aware of it or not. And we want to bring to your attention something important about what's happening now on planet Earth. And this is something that we have shared with you before and that Charlie has shared with you before, but as the planet, the energy is speeding up, so is the movement of energy that is pouring in through planet Earth. And it is coming from many different directions with different intentions. Now, energy itself is pure, but the intention of who is embodying it and how they're choosing to move it is what's of importance. And so, because there is so much activity on planet Earth and its importance in the universe overall, there are a lot of entities that have come into this planet in order to both aid the planet ascent, but also to make sure that it does not ascend, that it maintains the frequency that it has now, because it is in service to these beings. All right, so this creates contrast, and this allows for new life to flourish, and it actually it allows for the ascension to happen. However, it can feel very unsettling, this form of energy, all right, this sort of resistance that is offered by these different entities, all right. Now, we mention this because you as humans have a lot of power in how energy is moved, all right, because you have a mind, which is a powerful tool, and you also have a non-physical aspect of you, all right, that is always moving towards ascension. But your mind is easily distracted, all right? However, when you focus the mind with the intention of your higher being, the energy that is coming into planet Earth, you become like this pure, powerful machine of processing it and moving it, all right? And it flows through you. And as it flows through you, then it continues to move through the universe, all right? So one thing that's happening right now, this resistance, it's causing a lot of unsettling in many humans, all right? It's a bit of like an earthquake. And so the earthquake is simply a warning, all right? It is saying, hey, there is something happening underneath the surface. Now, of course, if a human is not quite grounded and living in a structure that is meant to handle these shakes and these movements, it can cause a lot of problems, all right? And so we want you to remember to remain grounded, all right, and to build for yourself a structure within your being, within your physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental being, a structure that allows for, no matter what shakes, what kind of energies are pouring into planet Earth, it allows you to remain grounded and aligned with the purpose of your higher being. So how do you do this? All right. How do you do this, especially when there is so much pressure? All right. Because see, when there's movement that's happening beneath the surface of Earth, there are a lot of consequences above the surface. All right. Not just for if you are on ground, but also on water. All right. And this is in the same way when there is so much movement and resistance happening that oftentimes humans experience it as emotional and physical hurricanes and mental and spiritual unrest. And so the most important thing, and we shared this message with you at the beginning of the year, was to maintain your focus, all right? Because your mind will be pulled in many different directions. All right. So have a daily practice in which you are focused on what it is that you are meant to do here on planet Earth. And that is simple. It is simple as that you are meant to be here in order to experience, in order to play, in order to live, in order to explore, and in order to experience joy. But you're also meant to be here to expand and ascend and allow your spirit to transcend the trappings of the physical. So as you're going through your day-to-day, connect with yourself, all right? Take a few moments to tap into you. And by you, we do not just mean the you that is often invaded by unrest and thoughts of how you're going to speak to someone, how you're going to answer an email, how you're going to do this or that. The you that is pure you, the you that is the unadulterated, the undistorted light. All right. And a great way to do this is to simply visualize yourself as pure light. All right. That beyond this physical body and within this physical body, there's a pure, seamless white light pouring in through and navigating through and cleansing you throughout the day. All right. It is important to do because as more and more entities pour into planet Earth and your attention is pulled in whichever direction, it's not just about your attention, is your energy body becomes consumed. And so you want to make sure to restore and to repair and to re-energize yourself as much as possible throughout the day. So check in with yourself. What is it that you are wanting? Sometimes it's very simple. Sometimes it's about simply drinking some water, maybe releasing some of the tension stored in your physical body. Sometimes it is about completing tasks and things that you have been putting off. And sometimes it is about erasing everything on your to-do list and simply being in nature. Whatever it is, your inner being is always there, nudging you forward. And that is what we want to help remind you to stay focused on. Because planet Earth right now is going through so much, all right? The spiritual tectonic plates are in upheaval because there is a shifting, all right? And as this shifting is happening, and as things begin to settle in a new frequency, there is going to be a lot of movement, all right? A lot of up and down, all right? But it doesn't mean that you have to be up and down. It means that you can remain focused and on your timeline of how you chose to come here and why you chose to come here. All right. So remember this, because this month will bring a lot of this energy, and there will be a little bit more of a settling as you enter the end of March. And in the northern hemisphere, spring will come, which will bring about a sense of rebirth. And in the southern hemisphere, it will be a time to quiet down a bit and become recentered. So remember, there is so much always available for you. And all you've got to do is to quiet down, take a breath, and tap into it. All right? We're always available for you. All right. Hello. Hello again. Hi, Carol. It's good to see you on here. I know you're joining from very far away, but yet so close. We have Rod. Hi, Rod from UK, A7N from London. Thank you, Pulsar. It's good to be back. I felt that energy swoop in. It was literally, it didn't even feel like it was 30 seconds. All right, so before I wrap this up, I believe it was Peter who had asked about who seven are and how I connected with them. And I see Sam Wolf is here as well. So I connected with seven when I was very young. And as some of you might know, I was born and grew up in Albania. And at the time when I grew up there in the 90s, hi, Yulia, it was very interesting because it was very chaotic. But one very interesting thing is that Albania was, because we were so technically, with our technology behind, there was very little EMF interference. And so, and I grew up, a lot of these places have a lot of history and castles and things. And I always saw spirits, I always saw beings. It never really bothered me, because at the time when you're very young, you see things and it's just part of your reality. And that's when I met Seven. I started with recurring dreams about two snakes. One was a silver snake, the other one was a golden snake. In real life, I absolutely was terrified of snakes. But in my dreams, they were extremely peaceful. And they would take me to this place. And the very first time I remember is because it was very white. Everything was very white and very grand and big and beautiful. And that's where I met the Seven. And it was these beings, and they were in a circle, and there wasn't so many words, it was just energy coming forth. And I didn't know at the time, I just knew that it felt amazing whenever I visited them and whenever they visited me. And then it wasn't until, I'm going to show you guys this. These are seven. So I didn't know when I started receiving the symbol again in my 20s. I was living in California at the time, and I spent a lot of time in the desert. And the desert, again, is an amazing place, especially where there is very little EMF interference, because you can see a lot more there than you can if you live in a city. Hi, Ukas from Lithuania. Very cool. You're not that far. And that's when I reconnected with Seven. I usually go into trance very easily, and that's how a lot of the messages started coming through. I'm jumping through a lot because I don't want this to take a long time. But anyways, I kept getting this symbol of the seven. I'm like, what is this? What is this? And when I was younger, I didn't care to identify where these beings were from. I just knew it was amazing whenever we connected. And they predicted so many things that happened in my life. But as I became older, I had more questions. And this is where the seven symbol came, that I ended up getting tattooed on my arm. And I learned about the seven sisters and the Pleiadians. And that's where they started communicating with me more clearly, because I was asking more specific questions. And that's one of the things that they've always shared with me, that if ask and it is given. It's about the quality of the questions that you ask. And the more that I started connecting with them, the more they also shared how to connect better with them. And then their guidance was really amazing for me. And so that's how I decided to share it with other people. There is a longer version to this story that's a bit more wild, but I'll keep it at that. And I know some of you also have your own guides. Some of you have actually connected with a one-on-one, and you shared that with you. And as you know, it's really amazing when you make that connection, when you stop fighting it and you stop just getting in the way of that connection, right? Because oftentimes we're observing things, we're connecting with different beings that are incredible, but then this part of our brain gets in the way and says, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Who is this person? Why are you connecting with them? They're not even a human. But by the frequency that they're bringing forth, by the vibration that you sense when you're in their presence. And that's a great way to know. A lot of people say, oh, aren't you afraid when you go into trance to connect with negative beings? And I say, no, I'm not, because first of all, my intention is pure, and secondly, I go by that vibration. I sense it, that frequency, and I know if it feels good, it's right. And if it doesn't feel good, it just bounces off of you, if your intention is good, right? And yeah, I'm glad I got to share that with you guys, because I know some of you I never heard of how I connected with 7. But if you have questions, put them in now. All right, last call. I'm going to wrap this up very shortly. And I'm going to get the little sound bowl going. All right. All right, everyone. Hi, Peter. Oh, Peter Farkas says, thank you for your channeled message. Absolutely, you're so very welcome. I'm curious to go back and hear it myself. I hope you all enjoyed it. There will be timestamps. So if you'd like to go back, or for whoever joined later, you can watch it back. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I look forward. My cat. Yes, I'm curious. I know cats are very still. Oh, thank you, Pulsar, so much for your super chat. Thank you. I'm very much appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. I will do this again next weekend, but probably at a different time. Hi, Lisa. Oh, no problem. I'm glad you at least were able to say hi. It's good to see you. This will be up in just a moment, so you can watch it back. I'm so glad you guys joined. And yeah, keep your eyes out. Make sure you turn on notifications, because I will do this again next weekend, but probably at a different time, maybe a little bit later. And enjoy this month. I know the energy has been very interesting, and it's going to continue to ramp up. Thank you, A7N. Thank you. And take good care. Stay hydrated. Stay groovy. And be blessed as always. I love seeing you, Cosmic Family. Take good care.